Blaming others for your problems isn't a good way to start. You want to take responsibility for your choices in life. We all come from different backgrounds. Some of us have had a harder life, and others have had it easy. But what we need to focus on is try not to compare our life so much, and to say that somebody that's had a better life should take responsibility for my choices in life, even if you came from a life that was difficult. Or maybe you are where you are in life because you made bad choices. But blaming others and not taking responsibility for your actions is just going to hurt you in the long run. Not only will it make you look bad in front of your family, people aren't going to want to be your friend then. After all, who's going to want to associate with someone that wants to put blame on everybody else and not take responsibility for their choices? Because at any moment, that person could then take something small out of context, or take something you say and turn it around on you and then put all that blame on you as if everything is your fault. That's not something a real friend does. A true friend takes responsibility for their choices. They work with you on problems and they help you overcome any problems that you're having in life. But we also have to think for ourselves. We have to think independently. If you're having an issue in life, you need to overcome them on your own. Yes, you can get help from others, but if you continue putting that problem, the difficulties and everything on other people around you and not taking responsibility for it, you're slowly going to just push people away from you. They're not going to want to have anything to do with you then. You're going to start losing friends. You're going to start losing family. And then when you have no one left but yourself, who can you blame? The only person that's left to blame is yourself. And then you're going to go through life regretting so much. And then you're going to be very unhappy and depressed. If more people would just take responsibility for their actions, take responsibility for any mistakes they make in life, and stop blaming other people, I think everyone could get along way better. It would solve a lot of the problems that the world's running into today. Everybody's too focused on social media, texting on their phones. They're so busy and focused on trying to find attention on social media, trying to find something that grabs their attention and takes their mind off of everything because they're not happy with who they are. They don't want to deal with life. And maybe they have had a hard life and they want to take that off of their mind. I had a very difficult life growing up, but just because I had a difficult life doesn't mean I take that out on other people. It doesn't mean that I should think that other people owe me something just because I have a difficult upbringing. My difficult childhood, although to some, they might see it as a negative, but I take that negativity and I turn it into positivity. I build upon those negative experiences to move forward in life and to better myself. I don't put everything that's happened to me in my past on other people and say that I am where I am just because of what's happened before, or I can't be better because of something that's happened in my past, so therefore I need to blame other people and have them take responsibility for it. I think too many people want to play the victim card and blame everybody around them, rather than just taking responsibility, moving forward in life, and just trying to be a better person. And the people that are putting blame on everybody else and not taking responsibility for their life, they're not thinking about the people around them. They're not thinking about the other people that maybe they're going through difficult times and maybe don't realize that they had a hard life or that they're going through tough times right now because they're just not sharing that with you. They don't tell the world and they keep that to themselves because there are some people that are more expressive with their emotions, and then you have people that keep most of their emotions to themselves. And for some people, it's better for them to keep them emotions to themselves because maybe the people around them don't understand them. Maybe they can't really connect with them on an emotional level and understand what it is they're going through. And that's something you have to remember when you put blame on other people and you think that because your life's difficult that the world owes you something. If you think the world owes you something because you had a hard life, then what about the other people that had a difficult life? And what if we all had a difficult life? Then who's going to pay for that? A lot of things in life might not seem fair, but we have to stop worrying so much about the things that are fair and aren't fair and focus on doing what we can with what we have and not blaming others because we aren't somewhere in life. Some people see my artistic talent and they say that's only talent. I don't really consider it talent. I call it more of a skill because I was never really talented at drawing. It never just came naturally to me. And that brings me back to using my past and difficulties to better myself rather than blaming it on other people. As a child growing up, to get my mind off of things, I did a lot of drawing. And because I had such difficult times happening in my life, I put all that time into drawing and I just focused on it really hard. I practiced over and over and over to the point to where I could finally draw portraits and I can draw things from my imagination and do all kinds of abstract doodles. If I just sat around thinking to myself, the world owes me something, that if I just sit around and wait for an opportunity to come to me, and then once it gets here, I'll cling to that opportunity, and then my life will be set. That's not how life goes. Sure, there's rare occasions where that may happen, but you have to start making the effort to make a small step every day, no matter what it is that you're doing, no matter how difficult it is or how easy it is. If you keep blaming others and waiting for opportunities to come to you, they're going to pass you by, and you're not going to realize when the opportunities are actually there, because you're so focused on the even bigger opportunities or the bigger things that life has to offer that you just completely forget about all the small things in life, and then you take for granted what's really important to you. I was never talented at powerlifting, but did I blame other people and say that I can't get there or I can't lift this amount of weight just because they have a certain genetics? No. I took responsibility and I pushed myself. And then it came to a point to where some people thought that I was only able to lift a certain amount because of my genetics. The many hours I put into practicing sprinting, I was never just talented at it. I was never born with some special type of talent that made me better than anybody. The one thing I always had and that I used was the difficulties in life to push myself to be better. I think that's something a lot of people forget about. They're going through difficult times, they don't know what to do, and they're blaming it on other people. Take that negativity, take that hardship, and use it to better yourself. Use it to become a better person tomorrow and stop blaming other people. If everybody in the world was asking everyone else around them that they owe them something, then no one could help each other. Something I notice between people is when I see two people talking about their difficulties they're having in life. A lot of times they'll get into a battle of who had the most difficult life. They won't listen to the other person. For example, one person will say, well, in my own childhood, when I was growing up, most of the time we didn't have electricity and my parents were really mean to me. And then the other person will pretty much ignore what they're saying, and they'll say to the other person, well, when I was a kid growing up, I never had anything to eat. My parents were mean to me. I had really bad clothes. And then they just go on, back and forth, not listening to each other. They're more focused on trying to one-up the other person and talk about who had a more difficult life, as if having a more difficult life means that the world owes you something. They then want to act like that other person owes them something, that that person should then give them things or be extra nice to them just because they had more difficult times in life. But I'm here to tell you that if you go through life blaming everybody else, acting as if the world owes you something, you're not going to gain any respect. You're not going to gain any respect from your family or your friends. And you're not going to improve as a person, because a person that actually wants to improve who they are doesn't put their difficulties and problems on everyone else to fix. We're all individuals and we can help each other. But if you truly want to change and better yourself, the only person that can really do that is you. So make the change. Make the change for your life. Stop blaming others and move forward. Just be yourself and improve what you can. Do what you can with what you have in life. Someone that puts their blame on everybody else and expects everyone to fix their problems is a narcissist. Someone that goes through life and does what they can with what they have, does not blame others for the difficulties they're going through life, tries to improve what they have, no matter how little it is, and then try to better themselves every step of the way, and to take responsibility for their actions, for their life. Now that's a warrior, and that's someone that I can respect.